in the way of the emergency exit. As we could see a while ago, the lady was pushing the trolley. She had a problem going over all the battles in a drill and ground here. As emergency exit should be clear at all times. And as I said before, please battle someone to slip on this car to get injured while executing their duty.
Sorry.
They should be clear immediately.
Afternoon. Welcome to our first health and safety seminar. Our first presenter is Renisha Francis. She'll be presenting on safety and you in the workplace. Let's give her a hand. Good afternoon, everyone. So first of all, we'll be looking at health and safety in the workplace. So safety, first of all, is the responsibility of everybody, workers, managers, supervisors. So first, we'll look at today what are workplace hazards. So workplace hazards are unsafe conditions that may cause injury, illness, or in any work environment. So let's look at the types of hazards we have today. There are 6 categories of hazards. We have ergonomic hazards, which includes improper posture, repetitive movements, and improper arrangements in the workplace. We also have physical hazards. These are exposure to excessive noise, vibrations from powerful machineries, and inadequate lighting in the workplace. Third on the list is biological hazards. They are found in the form of viruses, molds, bacteria that may build up in the workplace. Fourth are mechanical hazards. Now these hazards may be in the form of fray wires or moving parts of a machinery in the plant or in the factory. Next on the list we have chemical hazards. These are known to include liquids or solvents that may be toxic, irritable, or corrosive. The last but not least are physical hazards. These are harassments, not physical, psychological, my apologies. Harassment, stress, or fatigue that an employee may face during the workplace. Next, we'll be looking at proper safety in the workplace. Now, safety in the workplace, as it helps to reduce the risk of, as well as prevent occurrences of injuries or accidents. Now, this can be done by using the SAFE rule. SAFE as in SAFE rule. The S in this acronym means spot the hazard. This can be done by asking workers who are more frequent on the floor if they come across any hazard that may be of danger to them while working. Assess the risk. At this stage, the employer must ask questions such as how severe an injury or illness may be. Would it require first aid or permanent, would it cause permanent ill health or disability? The next acronym, F, fix the problem. While some problems may be easily and readily fixed right away, others may, take on a more effort and planning. At this stage, my fellow presenter will go further in this where the hierarchy of control will come into play. E in the acronym is evaluate the results. This stage involves finding out if the problem have been fixed and if the changes were effective. I also have with me today some brochures that I believe in, so you can have further reading as to your pleasing. Thank you. Next speaker is Abigail. Welcome. She'll be talking on the hierarchy of control.
Good afternoon, everyone. So we will be speaking about the hierarchy of control. First presenter Renisha touched a little bit on the topic, so I'm just going to go in depth into the hierarchy of control. Safety begins from the very start of the business. Before business starts, before creating the business, we have to think of safety first. We have to think of safety first. so that we can eliminate as much hazard as we possibly can eliminate before the startup of the actual business to prevent risks. The hierarchy of control has basically 5 steps of doing that, and the first one will be elimination. This is to remove as much hazard as possible, because we know that no matter what we do, we can't prevent every single hazard from happening in our workplace. So we eliminate it as much as possible. Elimination removes the hazard at the source. This could include changing work process to stop using toxic chemicals, heavy objects, or sharp tools. It is a preferred solution to protect workers from no exposure that can occur. The substitution method would be, if we can't eliminate every single hazard, we do a substitution method. When considering a substitution, it is important to prepare the potential new risk of substitute to the original risk. This review should consider how the substitute will combine with other agents in the workplace. Effective substitutes reduce potential forms of harmful effects and do not create new risk. Elimination and submission can be the most difficult action to adopt into an existing process. These methods are best used at the design or development stage of a workplace or tool. At the development stage, elimination and submission may be the simplest and cheapest option. Other good opportunities to use elimination and substitution is when selecting new equipment or procedures in an approach to proactively include prevention when designing work, equipment, tools, operations, and space. The third method on the hierarchy of control is engineering control. This is to reduce or prevent hazards from coming into contact with workers. Engineering controls can be modified equipment or the workspace using protective barriers, ventilations, and more. Engineering control can cost more upfront and administrative controls or PPEs. However, long-time operating costs tends to be lower, especially when protecting multiple workers. In addition, engineering control can save money in other areas of the work process or facility operations. The fourth one on the list, we have administrative control. Administrative control establishes work practices that reduce the duration, frequency, or intensity of exposure to hazards. This may include work process training, job rotation, ensuring adequate rest breaks, limiting access of hazardous areas or machineries, adjusting line speeds. And the fifth one, PPEs. PPEs is equipment worn to minimize exposure to hazards. Examples of PPEs include gloves, safety glasses, hearing protection, hard hats. When employees use PPEs, employers should implement a PPE program. While elements of the PPE program depends on the worker process and identify the PPE, the process should address workplace hazard assessments, PPE selection and use, inspection and replacement of damaged or worn out PPEs, employee training. The next topic would be the roles and responsibilities of each and every one of the workplace, but my fellow colleague will go in depth into that.
Next topic is the role and responsibilities of both our employees and employers, and our presenter will be Tony Williams.
The Act of OSH believe that safety is everyone's responsibility, and therefore went ahead to distribute roles and responsibility to each and every member of the workplace. Some of the roles of employers.
Next presenter, Ms. Michelle McLean, will be talking about the safety signs found in the workplace along with the emergency evacuation procedures.
Good afternoon. today we'll be talking about evacuation procedure in the workplace. As you can see here, we have the evacuation alarm is sounded, which is directed by a warden.
Hearing loss at work. Using the codes that relates to your work will help you comply with these laws. And finally, people go to work every day expecting not to be injured. As an employee, you have a right to a safe and helpful work environment. But employers are not the only one responsible for your safety. You are too. Now we're at our question and answer session. So any questions?
How can the workplace make safety a priority?
Good question. So safety can be made a priority by first normalizing it. This means following all appropriate regulations and standards in the workplace.
How is workplace safety regulated and enforced?
So the safety and health conditions in majority of businesses in the private sector are regulated by OSHA and the OSH Act of 1970. The act is then primarily enforced by compliance safety and health officers. These officers are trained in industrial hygienists professionals who conduct OSHA inspections in businesses all across the country. Okay, question number 3, any more? How can workplace safety be maintained? So workplace safety can be maintained through safety training in an excellent strategy for maintaining safety in the workplace. This can be done periodically to keep workers up to date and refreshed on safety practices and procedures.
Number 4, when and how often should workplace safety training be conducted?
So while training is often different from facility to facility, there are general training needs that every workplace will need to address. Initial training is mandatory before any worker can begin their job. It is important to train any new employee and offer periodic refresher courses.
How can accidents be prevented in the workplace?
That's a very good question. Accidents can be prevented in the workplace through the proper usage of labels and floor markings. This promotes safety awareness through extensive training and retraining opportunities. What is the role of PPE in workplace safety? Okay, so PPEs are personal protective equipment, which is any type of equipment or clothes worn to protect an individual from a specific hazard or to minimize exposure to that hazard. So we have come to the end of our seminar. Thank you all for coming, and please practice safety in your workplace.
Alright, everything seems to be okay. Door is clear and the air is free of all debris and spill. Everything is in perfect condition.